So I've used macOS every single day for the last 10 years, and along the way I've picked up a number of tips and tricks that I think you might find super helpful. First, let's start with some new features that the latest macOS version, Sonoma, introduced. So something that a lot of people have been requesting for a while is being able to add iPhone widgets to your Mac's desktop. Right-click on your desktop and select Edit Widgets, then scroll through the widget library and any compatible widgets will have this From iPhone tag. Just drag and drop the widget to your desktop. You can even use iPhone widgets from apps that you don't even have installed on your Mac. And you can also interact with certain widgets. For example, marking complete tasks in the Reminders widget. Now this is really helpful, particularly if you have a second screen. It just stays open 24/7 and you can just glance at it to stay on track while working. Also in macOS Sonoma, Apple introduced animated wallpapers for your lock screen. To enable them, go to System Settings, Wallpaper, and select the one you like. Now, if you don't know how exactly to spell a word, you can write a few letters and then hit the Function key and F5 to see suggested words. There's also inline predictive text, which predicts and suggests the next word you're going to type. If it's not already on by default, to enable it, go to System Settings, then Keyboard. Find the text input section, click edit, and here you can enable inline predictive text. This is quite helpful after Friday night work drinks and you've still got one more email to send. Don't ask me how I know this. No, I didn't get fired, but HR was notified. Bonus tip on most versions of macOS when using Safari, if you don't know the meaning of a particular word, you can either force click on the touchpad or right click and select Look Up. This action will open a pop-up dictionary window and provide you with the word's meaning. Now you probably know that you can preview images, videos, and other files simply by selecting the file and hitting the spacebar. But once you preview an image, you can actually right click and select Copy Subject, and that's going to remove the background and you can then paste the subject anywhere you want or even send it as a message. Additionally, if the image includes text, you can highlight the text in the image and copy it, or hit this button to highlight all the text in the image. You can change the background of Safari by dragging an image over the app window. Also, you can click on the settings button in the bottom right corner to enable or disable sections that you don't want to see in the new tab window. I personally love this really clean and minimal look, but maybe it's just me. Now, if you're a connoisseur of shady websites just like me, Apple has made our activities much easier to hide by being able to lock them with Touch ID. Open up Safari settings, go to the privacy section, and enable Require Touch ID to view locked tabs. And now each time you unlock your Mac and whenever you have a private tab open, it will require either a password or Touch ID to then view the web page. Works really great for hentai. Now, macOS Sonoma also introduced the ability to save any website as a separate application in the dock. To do this, open the website in Safari, go to File and select Add to Dock, click Add and voila. The website is now in your dock looking like an app and it can open in its own window. By the way, speaking about the dock, if you actively use the Downloads folder on your Mac, there is no need to open it and drag a file from the folder to your app. Instead, just click the Downloads folder in the dock and you'll be able to see all the downloaded files. Now you can just simply drag a file to any open app. And bonus tip, if there's a certain folder you need quick access to, you can also drag that folder to the dock and customize how it opens. This acts as a shortcut and it's super handy for dragging screenshots or other files into a certain folder quickly. And you've also probably noticed this magnification effect when you hover over the dock. If you don't like it, you can disable it by right-clicking on this separator and selecting Turn Magnification Off. If you want to move the dock to the left or right side of the screen, hold Shift, click on the separator, and drag the dock to the left, right, or center. And lastly, you can change the size of the dock simply by clicking the separator and dragging the mouse. But if you're like me and you don't want your dock to take up so much real estate on your screen, you can actually hide it if you want. Now, right-click on the separator and select Dock Settings. Here you have to enable Automatically Hide and Show the dock. And as you can see, once I get close to the dock with my mouse, it pops up and I can use it as normal. Now is also a good time to mention that if you're not physically protecting your Mac as well from, drops and bumps and things like that, this whole video is kind of pointless, right? Because if you've got a smashed and broken MacBook, you're not going to be able to use macOS. So that is where the sponsor for this section of the video comes in, tomtoc. Meet the tomtoc Defender A30 laptop shoulder bag. Perfect for the daily commute to work or school by combining a slim design and all-around military-grade protection. The bag features a smart tri-compartment storage design, and there's a quick access front pocket and multiple sections for your accessories such as dongles, cables, or chargers. Plus a dedicated strap for an AirTag and keys. Now the main compartment is dedicated to protecting your laptop from knocks and bumps with thick, soft padding and 4 corner armor protectors around the edges, while the back pocket provides easily accessible storage. There's also a removable shoulder strap and padded carrying handle, and the bag is compatible with a wide range of laptops from Apple, Dell, Asus, Lenovo, and more. Plus, the A30 is crafted from sustainable recycled fabric and features YKK zippers and buckles. So, if you want to give your device 360-degree protection, grab the tomtoc Defender A30 laptop shoulder bag using the link below. Let's jump back into the macOS tips. Now, did you know that you can actually change the way your pointer looks? Go to System Settings, Accessibility, Display. In the pointer section, you can choose the pointer outline and pointer fill colors. Another customization tip is also located here in System Settings and Appearance. Here, you're able to change the accent color and the highlight colors. That way you can change the whole color theme in every Mac app. I chose purple to match the channel. Additionally, you can change the icon size across all built-in apps. Now, instead of this boring background in Finder, you can actually set a color or even a picture as a background. Right-click on the background and select Show View Options, and in the pop-up window, find the background section and choose one of the options. You can select either a color or a picture. And here is the ultimate customization tip. Go to your Apple ID settings, click Edit next to your profile picture, and select Memoji. Now you can spend some time creating yourself. When you lock your Mac, you see an animated version of yourself. Just remember, if you piss your Memoji off enough by typing an incorrect password too many times, they might just quit their job. That's a joke. They don't have any workplace rights. Now, usually you take screenshots of your desktop by pressing Command-Shift-3, right? Well, if you want to capture just a part of the screen, hit Command-Shift-4, and now you can select the area you need. But if you press Command-Shift-4 and then hit Enter, you'll be able to select and capture just a single app window. And in case you want to take just a quick screenshot to share it with someone without having it on your computer, hit Shift-Control-Command-3 to capture the whole desktop, or hit Shift-Control-Command-4 to capture a small section. Now just hit Command-V to paste the screenshot wherever you want. But if you don't want to learn all of these shortcuts, and I'll be the first to admit there are quite a few, you can actually just hit Command-Shift-5. And here you can choose what exactly you want to capture, including recording your screen. It's kind of like a little screen recording or screenshot menu. Now, bonus tip, while in the Command-Shift-5 menu, hit Options, and you can now specify which location your screenshots and screen recordings are saved to. You can also create a custom folder, for example, for a specific work project or assignment you're doing. And now everything is instantly saved to that folder instead of randomly on your desktop. Okay, let's get back to the files in Finder. Now, you can quickly convert images to a different format and even compress them. To do this, right-click on the image, go to Quick Actions and select Convert Image. Here you can choose the desired format and their final size. If your work involves messing around with a lot of files, you'll love this particular feature. Open Finder, go to File and select New Smart Folder. Now click on the plus icon, and here's where you can set parameters and conditions for the files you want to see in this folder. For example, you can sort all images taken on a particular camera, like an iPhone or a Sony camera, or you can keep all PDFs in a single folder. Now click Save and choose where to keep this folder. If you have a bunch of files in a folder, you can just rename all of them at once if you want to. Select all of the files, right-click and select Rename. Here, you need to write down the new name for these files and then write down a number. Click Rename, and as you can see, all of the files are renamed. Okay, so you probably know if you hit the Command and Spacebar keys on the keyboard, the Spotlight search pops up. It's one of the tools that I use every single day. But I use it not only for launching apps, but also other things like a currency converter. Or you can search for specific images or vacations you've taken, as well as simple information searches like how old a certain celebrity is. Also in Spotlight, you can quickly enable or customize settings like night shift, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and more without having to go into the settings or menu bar. Now, if you're browsing the web and want to save a page, you can just quickly add it to your notes. Just open a note and click the Add a Link icon. But if you need a particular section of text from that page, just highlight it, right-click, and select Add to Quick Note. It'll create a note and will save the link of the web page as a source. In macOS Sonoma, you can add PDF files to the Notes app, and you'll be able to preview and browse the file. Plus, you can also select markup to be able to sign a page, highlight stuff, and more. If you want to browse the web while taking notes, double-click on the note to have it in a separate window, and then go to Windows and select Float on top. And now, no matter what app is active, the note window will always remain on top. It's kind of like a better version of stickies. Also, you can search through your notes by typing a keyword, and the app will look for that keyword even inside PDFs attached to notes. Hit Command-Control-Space to bring up emojis to better customize your notes, and this actually works in any app. Now, in regards to PDFs, did you know that you can actually merge a few separate PDF files together in a few clicks? Well, you can. It's actually pretty easy. Just select a few PDF files. You can even select images here. Right-click, go to Quick Actions, and select Create PDF. And here is the merged PDF file. If you then open that PDF, or any PDF file for that matter, you can also move around pages inside the PDF by clicking and dragging pages to the desired location. And then don't forget to save the changes by pressing Command and S. Okay, let's move on to some more general macOS tips. Now, copying and pasting formatted text can sometimes result in a bit of a mess. To paste text without the formatting, instead of Command-C, hit Shift-Command and C. And now the text looks clean and neat when you paste it. An oldie but a goldie is hot corners. Now, when I move the pointer to the upper left corner, I'm shown Mission Control by default, which is pretty convenient, but I also hate when hot corners are triggered by mistake. To fix this issue, go to System Settings, Desktop and Dock, and click Hot Corners below. Now, when you choose the action to perform, hold the Command, Control, Option, or Shift key. The hot corners will be triggered only when holding one of those keys and moving the pointer to one of the corners. Now, instead of using fancy AI tools to summarize articles, you can use a built-in feature that's already in every Mac and is also free. Highlight the text you want to summarize, go to the app name, services, and click Summarize. You can even change the summary size to make it shorter or longer. To enable this feature, go to the app name, services, select services settings, expand the text section, and check the Summarize feature. Now, there have probably been some cases where you don't want your Mac to fall asleep. For that, open up the terminal and just type caffeinate, then hit enter. As long as the terminal stays open, your Mac won't sleep. And this is really great for those occasions where you need your Mac to stay on, right? Like downloading a file or running a particular program, but without having to jump into the settings and adjust your power configuration. If for some reason the app you are using becomes unresponsive, you don't need to go into the activity monitor and close the app there. You can just hit Command, Option, Escape on the keyboard, select the unresponsive application, and then just click Force Quit. Did you know there's a built-in screen sharing app in macOS that allows you to control someone else's Mac remotely? If your parents are like mine and can barely send an email, this is going to solve a lot of problems for you. To do this, open Spotlight and then type screen sharing. Hit the plus button and type the Apple ID of the other device. And that's it. You don't need to download and use third-party apps like TeamViewer. And that is pretty much it. That is a relatively small selection of some of the macOS tips and tricks that I use on a daily basis. If you found any of them helpful, let me know down below. But apart from that, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.